What would you say if I told you Russia collusion's back? You'd say, Jesse, Democrats are stupid, but they're not that stupid. No one would believe it. Well, you'd be wrong, because it's back.
Breaking news out of Washington this morning. Sources now telling us exclusively that the Biden administration is set to accuse publicly Russia of extensive and prolonged interference in the 2024 election.
The Biden administration taking a series of actions to target what they allege are attempts by Russian-backed actors to manipulate public opinion here in the U.S. ahead of the presidential election.
They're doing it again, and they're using the same guys they always use.
This is being described by our sources as a whole-of-government action designed to target Russian propaganda and disinformation aimed at interfering in the 2024 election. It is said to include sanctions by the Treasury Department, law enforcement action by the Justice Department.
That guy there was Ken Dilanian, who, if he's not a CIA agent, he's a CIA puppet. Every deep state hoax, Agent Dilanian's got the scoop. Sources told him there was Russia collusion in 2016, the laptop was fake, and COVID definitely didn't leak from the lab. Ken Dilanian was busted sending the CIA drafts of stories before he published them. One draft he sent to the CIA had the subject line, "Does this look better?" The LA Times had to disown Dilanian after he was outed as a CIA collaborator. The United States government has interfered in nearly every country's elections. The CIA used to buy off entire political parties in Italy and Japan, literally handing out suitcases of cash to politicians, and has staged violent coups in Iran, Guatemala, Vietnam, Indonesia, countless countries, and pumped out American propaganda throughout Europe and Asia for decades. And we're now in an all-hands-on-deck situation because of a few Russian websites.
The Justice Department is seizing 32 internet domains that the Russian government and the Russian-sponsored actors have used to engage in a covert campaign to interfere and influence the outcome of our country's elections. This task force has been marshaling the full resources of the Justice Department to aggressively investigate and prosecute threats targeting election workers, officials, and volunteers.
What exactly is the Biden-Harris administration accusing Russia of? The machine tells the Times the Kremlin's propaganda apparatus has thrown itself behind Mr. Trump's candidacy, creating online news outlets and fake videos to denigrate President Biden and, more recently, Ms. Harris. If you're wondering what this Russia disinformation looks like, here it is. If you see the following narratives on the internet, it could be Russian interference. Are you ready? Record inflation, unaffordable prices for food and essential goods, risk of job losses for white Americans, privileges for people of color, threat of crime coming from people of color and immigrants, overspending on foreign policy. The United States government wants us to believe that the Russians are using Republican talking points to interfere with the election. And if we see things online about DEI or migrant crime or even record inflation, it could be Russian propaganda. And anybody who emails this stuff around or says it on TV could be a Russian agent and should be under investigation. This show tonight has all the earmarks of Russian propaganda. How do we know when Trump campaign officials appear on primetime? They're just not really Russian cutouts whose phones need to be tapped. After the Russia hoax was debunked by their own special counsel, they think you're not smart enough to remember. Even the reporters in the room are like, Garland, you're kidding, right?
Russia today sent a statement to Fox News and some other outlets here, mocking the situation. They had 5 bullet points or 6 bullet points. The first said, ha, 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 ha. 2016 wants its cliches back. In all seriousness, there is a subsection of the country that when they hear Russian interference, they may believe that it's not true, it's not a real thing. How do you assure people this is a real situation?
I'm sure that was much funnier in the original Russian, but for us, it's not funny. This is deadly serious, and we are going to treat it accordingly.
The Russians are probably meddling in our election to cause chaos. We expect it, but we can handle it. But it's not going to affect the outcome. If a couple more people on Twitter say, prices are so high, I can't afford a house, hashtag thanks, Harris, that's not going to cost her Georgia. And if you're Russia, you want Harris as president. The Russians invaded on her watch. Chinese agents are working in Democrat governors' offices. They're sleeping with Democrat congressmen. They're chauffeuring Democrat senators around and even bribing the Bidens with cash and diamonds. But oh, watch out for those Russians on YouTube. The Chinese are interfering on behalf of Harris. The Iranians are interfering on behalf of Harris. The cartels want Harris to win. If Harris wins, I'm not going to blame the whole world. But if she loses, the Democrats are going to blame Russia and investigate Trump again for collusion. They're locking in their excuse now for losing and their insurance policy. We predicted it. The deep state's designated Trump a foreign threat, likely triggering another counterintelligence investigation run by the CIA and FBI. And they've designated Trump a domestic threat by combining the dictator on day one and bloodbath hoaxes. So the deep state's going to be crawling all over the Trump campaign this election. And if he wins, it'll be another war from within. If this is some kind of early October surprise, it's sloppy. This witch hunt's so obvious, Trump is refusing intel briefings because of it.
I don't want them because, number one, I know what's happening. They come in, they give you a briefing, and then 2 days later they leak it, and then they say you leaked it. So the only way to solve that problem is not to take it. I don't want it.
Understood.
I'll have plenty of them when I get in.
If Kamala is really up in the polls, what's with the dirty tricks? The last campaign that cooked up the collusion hoax lost. That should tell you that Kamala's internal polling must be pretty bad. The Democrats' numbers guru, Nate Silver, just put out another election forecast with Trump as the heavy favorite. Look at that. Kamala flunked her DNC speech and her CNN interview. And now Silver says Pennsylvania and Michigan have become something of an issue for Harris. Journalist Mark Halpern is hearing whispers that Democrats are ruling out PA. Listen.
I talked to two people today, Democrats who know the state very well, and they both said that they thought Harris not only was behind in Pennsylvania today, but they thought she was likely to lose the state. They didn't rule out that she could win it, but they thought it was unlikely. And if you believe that, what these people believe, and if you believe that what my source does, that her chances of winning Pennsylvania are quite low, you can't make her the favorite. And you almost can't even say this race is a toss-up, because Harris without Pennsylvania is not in a competitive competition.
The betting markets have Trump up 6 in Pennsylvania, while he's up in Nevada and up double digits in Georgia and Arizona. Kamala campaigned in New Hampshire today. New Hampshire hasn't gone red in 24 years. Her campaign's also spending time in Virginia and Minnesota. I thought those were blue states. Why do they need to be defended? The Harris campaign's also giving $25 million to House and Senate Democrats. It's almost like the money's better spent on the House and Senate because the White House is out of reach. Kamala is more unpopular than Biden. Wall Street Journal poll has her underperforming Biden with young voters, black voters, Latinos, men, and women. That's the entire country. And that's why this is going to be a dogfight. The Democrats' backs are up against the wall, and Trump expects them to play dirty.
You've said that politics is a dirty game in the past.
It is a dirty game. It's certainly true.
So if it is a game, how do you win at that game?
Well, you win at that game by getting the word out and by using sense. You have to have a feeling where it's going. You also have to have a feeling of what's right. You can't necessarily just go what's popular. You have to do what's good for a country.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.